The SEC is undergoing a monumental shift, and with Paul Atkins leading the charge, it's safe to say we're on the brink of some game-changing developments. These changes are set to completely redefine how crypto is perceived and regulated in the US. But here's the exciting part. This isn't just about regulations. This could very well be the first step toward integrating groundbreaking projects and technologies into the US financial system. And yes, it also paves the way for big banks, institutional investors, and enterprise giants to dive into the crypto world like never before. So what does this mean for the market? Plenty. Today, we're diving into XRP and why the altcoin market is primed for major moves. Think very bullish trends on the horizon. XRP in particular has been a standout performer and is positioned to lead the pack as things heat up. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's break it all down. And hey, if you're new to the channel, stick around until the end. I promise you'll want to hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. Let's dive into this update from Chad Steiger because we're gearing up for a major meeting just around the corner. Mark your calendars. Friday, May 2nd, 2025, and when Chris Larsen, Ripple's executive chairman, sits down with Paul Atkins, the new chairman of the SEC. That's right. We're only 2 days away from a discussion that could shape the future of blockchain technology. The focus of this meeting, Ripple, XRP, and the broader cryptocurrency industry. This could be a pivotal moment, maybe even a turning point for the ongoing case. Could this meeting lead to the case being dismissed entirely? It's possible, but even if it doesn't, there's so much to unpack here. What's especially exciting is seeing Paul Atkins openly engaging with key figures like Chris Larsen. It's a sign that there's a growing willingness to explore and understand the groundbreaking work the crypto space has been building for over a decade. With just 48 hours to go, anticipation is building. This meeting could mark a big step forward for the industry. There isn't a key face in the game. He's been a key player in the space for years, and it's always exciting to see his influence in action. This is a big moment, no doubt about it. It also ties perfectly into what we've been hearing about Paul Atkins lately. Just recently, on the 28th, we saw some major moves. Paul Atkins, as SEC chairman, is reshaping the US crypto landscape, shifting the focus from heavy-handed enforcement to clear rule-based regulation. This stepping into the role, the SEC has introduced roundtables, eased up on litigation, and prioritized key areas like stablecoin legislation, exchange registration, and token classification. And all of this progress has unfolded in just the last few months. Think about what Atkins is achieving with this new approach at the SEC. The signals of change are everywhere. You don't need anyone to spell it out for you. Just look at the strides being made. Stablecoin laws are advancing, crypto regulation is evolving, and tokenization is getting the spotlight it deserves. It's refreshing to see this level of engagement and forward momentum. I'm here for it, and it's exciting to think about what's next. It's honestly amazing to see big names from the crypto space finally taking a seat at these roundtables, exactly what we've been pushing for all these years. If you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know I've been saying this forever. A couple years back, I pointed out that the biggest thing we needed wasn't a lineup of TradFi players around the SEC table lecturing us on why they think crypto is bad. What we needed, what we begged for, was for the SEC to bring in actual leaders from the space. That's how they'll truly understand what's happening here. So yeah, seeing Chris Larsen meeting with Paul Atkins this Friday feels like a major win. It's a bullish signal, no doubt. And to top it off, we've got Stuart Alderoty in the mix too. This is fascinating. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderoty, is clearly a brilliant mind and his insights never disappoint. Let's rewind to the 23rd. There's something worth revisiting. Why? Because we now have confirmed news of a meeting between Chris Larsen and the SEC. That's a big deal. What makes this even more intriguing is the timing. Former SEC Chair Paul Atkins recently called for an end to the SEC's waywardness, declaring it's a new day for the agency during his first public remarks in his role. Stuart Alderoty chimed in on April 10th, referencing an April 9th post, essentially confirming Paul Atkins' position. The timing is uncanny, almost as if the pieces are falling into place. It's hard not to notice the connections here. Coincidence? Probably not. This alignment feels too deliberate. There's something brewing and it's worth paying attention to. It might just be for the best because Paul Atkins isn't some random newcomer. He's a longtime supporter of crypto, someone who's been vocal about the Ripple case before. In fact, he's gone on record saying this case needs to be dismissed, plain and simple, because it doesn't add up. But Atkins also acknowledged its significance, calling it one of the most pivotal cases in crypto's history. Now, Riz XRP points out that a major focus of his leadership will be establishing clear, solid regulations for digital assets. The tide is turning, a new era begins. Take a look.
A top priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, and principled approach. We will work to ensure that the United States is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and to do business. So, Mr. President, again, thank you very much for your graciousness in extending such a warm welcome to my family and me today in this storied room. I look forward to working with you, with colleagues in your administration, and with Congress to advance your agenda to bolster the economy and build on U.S. leadership of the global markets. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much.
Building on this, it's worth noting Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has often highlighted just how bullish Paul Atkins would be at the SEC. He mentioned it back in December, if memory serves. Here's a clip of him on Bloomberg sharing his thoughts on Atkins. Take a look.
The whole idea that this wouldn't have been brought under this SEC, have you had that specific discussion with Paul Atkins and with David Sachs?
Well, Paul Atkins hasn't yet been confirmed. He's a very knowledgeable guy about this industry and has been for a long time. But I've had conversations, I won't comment on specifics, with certainly, I think David Sachs would agree that this is a case that didn't make a lot of sense in the beginning. Again, there was no investor harm. This was about Gary Gensler waging a war against this industry.
This gives us a clear glimpse into Brad Garlinghouse's perspective on Paul Atkins. Back in December and continuing into January, the Ripple team has shown strong support for Atkins, firmly backing his leadership. They've been vocal about shifts in the legislative and regulatory landscape, aligning their strategies with these evolving dynamics. Ripple's actions speak louder than words: strategic acquisitions, increasing adoption, and rapid growth within the U.S., not to mention the surge in job opportunities. The U.S. is officially rolling out the welcome mat for crypto, and major players like Ripple are seizing the moment to their advantage. Adding to the momentum, new SEC Chair Paul Atkins has vowed to tackle long-standing issues, including the regulation of digital assets. The message is clear. The USA is stepping into a pro-crypto future.
And eager to tackle long-festering issues such as the regulatory treatment of digital assets and distributed ledger technologies, and working with my fellow commissioners and the staff in doing it, and soliciting outside input as well, obviously. So this is important work as entrepreneurs across the United States are harnessing blockchain technology to modernize aspects of the financial system. I expect huge benefits from this market innovation in terms of efficiency, cost reduction, transparency, and risk mitigation. Market participants engaging with this technology deserve clear regulatory rules of the road. Innovation, unfortunately, has been stifled for the last several years due to market and regulatory uncertainty that, unfortunately, the SEC has fostered. So I look forward to engaging with market participants and working with colleagues in President Trump's administration and Congress to establish a rational, fit-for-purpose framework for crypto.
As the landscape continues to shift, what's catching our attention? Utility-based projects, the buzz from industry giants, and the problems they're setting out to solve. Recently, Ernst & Young's tax leaders shared some thought-provoking insights on thinking crypto. Tony Edwards' YouTube channel. The discussion touched on big banks leaning in, altcoins gaining momentum, and even whispers of potential capital gains exemptions. Intriguing, right? Big thanks to Subjective Views for uncovering this gem. Definitely worth a watch.
I'm curious, with the repeal of SOB 121 and this favorable environment, are you seeing demand from banks? And I'm talking the big banks.
Yes. That was a major barrier for a lot of the banks. And so we are, actively involved in discussions with a lot of the major GSIPs. They are wanting to offer various types of products to their customer base. And I think to start, right, a lot of it's going to be basic custodying, basic buys and sells, right? You're seeing ETFs. You might see, a lot of those ETFs were kind of focused just on Bitcoin or just on Ethereum. I think you probably might start seeing some more kind of diversified multi-coin type of operations. But yeah, the banks are excited, and because they are again, it's kind of this general sentiment. I think we're hearing a lot of whispers around this capital gains exemption altogether for made in America coins. All I've heard is whispers on that. Right. Nothing substantive. So don't quote me. But I think there's some enthusiasm around that potentially being in this bill as well. And if that happens, I mean, you're gonna see a huge ramp up, right? And so it's I think the banks and the the digital everybody's kind of preparing for this.
This is exactly why we're diving into ETFs, because when the big banks start paying attention, TradFi and Wall Street are making major moves. It's becoming crystal clear. Take the big buzz around ProShares, for example. Their XRP lunked futures ETFs are officially launching today, the 30th, marking a huge step forward. But the real excitement, spot ETFs. Crypto Airy recently shared a post breaking down the deadlines for spot ETFs, and it's definitely something to keep an eye on. May is shaping up to be a game changer with 4 major decisions on the horizon. Beyond that, we've got Wisdom Tree, CoinShares, and Franklin Templeton lined up for October 25th. Some believe the wait extends until then, with all approvals dropping at once. But here's the twist. I don't think we'll have to wait that long. My hunch, it's going to catch everyone off guard, likely during the summer. May could be the spark that sets everything in motion. If one ETF gets the green light, the rest might just follow like dominoes. Approval for a futures ETF usually comes first. And when that happens, spot ETFs are often just around the corner. It's just a matter of time. But what really grabs my attention right now is the spotlight shifting to altcoins. I truly believe they're next in line for a big breakout. Take XRP, for example. Its Bitcoin chart looks like a coiled spring ready to explode upward. Since hitting its peak in January, it's been in a holding pattern, consolidating and gearing up for its next major move. The next big surge upward is likely to align with dominance breaking out in a major way. If we take a close look at the dominance chart, it's hard to deny it looks primed and ready. The chart shows strong support around the same levels we saw back in February, right before a previous breakout attempt. While that breakout didn't happen then, this time feels different. This could set XRP on an exciting path, potentially reclaiming 10% or more of the entire market share. Think about it. If the crypto market hit $7.00 to $10 trillion, 0 cents in total market cap, that would put XRP somewhere between $700 billion, 0 cents, and $1 trillion, 0 cents in valuation. Wild, right? It's a testament to the idea that staying in the market often beats trying to time it perfectly. I've said it before and I'll say it again. XRP is absolutely shining right now. Everything about it is looking strong, not just from a technical analysis perspective, but also in terms of overall fundamentals. We're witnessing the market opening up in a massive way, especially with the changes happening under the new SEC landscape. It feels like we're on the brink of something big. Utilities finally starting to grab the attention of major players, and it's only a matter of time before it becomes a central focus. I'm genuinely excited about what's ahead. The next few weeks and months are going to be pivotal, and I truly believe altcoins are about to step into the spotlight in a big way. So taking a glance at the Bitcoin dominance chart and the altcoin trends, it's clear something exciting is brewing. Altcoins are gearing up for a big move, and all signs point to the start of an alt season. I know it might feel like a legend at this point, but trust me, it's coming, it's happening. The momentum is building, and now's the perfect time to pay attention and prepare. With that said, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more free content. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.